At the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Here at McKeon Park for the second-to-last home game of the regular season as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and Bourne Braves prepare for a Western Division Final rematch. We welcome you into the Tim Elstrom broadcast booth. Josh Schreiber here alongside Nico Sharp and Jacob Irons. And what a day it is for baseball, and what a day it is for a huge game for both the Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves, looking to move up in the standings for Bourne and keep their spot at 1 for Hyannis.
Yeah, really important game for Hyannis tonight. And you look at the standings right now, you have an opportunity in front of you to create a little bit of your own destiny for a small part of it. While Cotuit does have a makeup game ahead of Hyannis, giving them a very strong pathway to the first place spot. You took care of business last night. It's now you got to take care of business the rest of the way, and it starts here tonight against a very talented Bourne Braves team that is looking to try and do what no one on Cape Cod can say they do and beat Hyannis. Hyannis doesn't have a win against the Bourne Braves. They only have a tie. So for right now, it comes at a crucial moment.
And it comes at a crucial moment again. Talk about it, been struggling against the Bourne Braves, struggling to go to Bourne and play there, but the Harbor Hawks been so good at home so far this season. It'll be Drake Meeks on the mound. Look for him to have a solid start in his first start this summer for the Harbor Hawks. Again, in a big matchup. Nice weather today, a little hot, but beautiful weather nonetheless.
Yeah, and we'll hear more about Drake Meeks in a moment, but let's get a look at the Hyannis defense that will be going out there today. Got a new name in there. It's Donovan Cash playing there at first base.
Yeah, Donovan Cash, the first baseman from a summer league that's within the New England construct, the New England Collegiate Baseball League, the NECBL, played for the Ocean State Waves, and put together a very solid summer, had a batting average north of 300. He comes in a big spot to give an off day to Michael Italo here to be able to sit in and take the designated hitter role while still not giving away first base.
Absolutely. And then for the Bourne Braves, it's going to be something very similar that we've seen from them all season long.
Yeah, their 1-9 is a consistent 1-9 from pretty much the opening part of the summer till now. They have had this lineup with 9 guys that are solid, that are hitting the ball well, and they are fielding it well on top of it. Bourne is making a push and showing shades of 2023 of being the 4th team in and making a lot of damage at that position.
Absolutely. There may be no hotter team in the Cape Cod League than the Bourne Braves, except for maybe Hyannis, who is coming in having won 4 of their last 5 games now. It's been very impressive what they've been able to do.
Yeah, they've been playing really well on both ends. You saw it. There was a complete game at Cotuit last night, and it was a big-time pitching performance. Offense got it done. You feel good approaching playoffs, but if you're the Bourne Braves, a little bit like last year, they're again in the 4th seed in the West, and they went on to win it all last year. So it's not always who's the better team all summer long, who's the hotter team.
It's the question right now, who's the hotter team? For Hyannis, I think they're coming off their most complete game of the summer. It was necessary for them to be able to do it against Mike Roberts' Katuitt Kettleers team. They put themselves in very strong footing, and they showed it last night.
They certainly did. As we are going to take a short break for the national anthem, but when we come back, we'll tell you about the starting pitchers and lineups coming up soon.
Josh Schreiber here alongside pitching coach Tanner Cunha. And, Coach, big day yesterday from the pitchers all around. Chandler Dorsey, 4 no-hit innings. Then it was Carbone, then Hintz, then Auk. What was working so well for the guys against such a good lineup in Katuitt?
Oh, I think started off with Dorsey. I mean, everyone else kind of fed off him. I mean, when you have 4 innings, you don't allow a run, it's pretty good. And then, guys, it gets contagious, and our bullpen did a great job keeping it up.
And Dorsey, a guy that had came out of the pen twice before his start yesterday. What about his stuff made you as a coaching staff want to try him out as a pitcher or as a starting pitcher in such a big game?
Well, you know, our whole goal was to build him up the whole time. I mean, it's electric stuff. It's really good stuff. It's a really good breaking ball. The cutter plays really well off of that. Big curveball. So all the stuff that we knew he was going to start, we were just kind of waiting for the moment, and it's perfect time right before playoffs to get in that start.
And then going today with another guy making his first start, Drake Meeks. Was this a similar thing where the goal the whole time to build him up, or is he more in an opener role? How is that going to work?
You know, we're just going to see where the game takes us today. That's part of the game sometimes, and it's an opportunity he's going to have, and he's going to embrace it, and he's stoked to do it, and we're happy he's doing it as well.
And I guess what led to that decision to have him start in today's game? Obviously, we know 97-mile-an-hour fastball can really pump it in there. What else has impressed you about him in the Cape so far?
I think just his confidence as a freshman. I mean, he's a young kid, and he wanted to come up here. I mean, this is obviously a great league to be in, and he's a freshman in it, and I think we reward him this time by getting a start against the Bourne.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sideline reporter Josie Broyles here with Casey Hintz after a Harbor Hawk win against Katuitt yesterday. Great job pitching. You pitched the last inning before the big win. What do you think really benefited the team yesterday in terms of really getting that victory?
Yeah, I think the offense really came together, put together good at-bats. Obviously 2 big swings by Kep and Bargo, but other than that, just good at-bats, putting pressure on the pitching.
Did you have any specific strategy going into the mound?
No, just get ahead in the count, get 0-2, 1-2, and go from there.
Playoffs are coming up. Is there anything you're specifically looking within yourself to improve upon before leaving the Cape this summer?
No, I think just keep having fun, keep getting hitters out when I can, and just help the team win.
And you have been here since early on in this season. What's your favorite experience that you've had so far here on Hyannis?
I would say, being around the guys, meeting the new players, and then going to Martha's Vineyard on an off day was probably the most enjoyable thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back here at McKeon Park, and we'll get a look at the first time starting for Hyannis. It is Drake Meeks.
Yeah, gets his first start today. Wanted the ball against the Bourne Braves. Big matchup here. Had a short outing against the Wareham Gatemen. This is his 6th outing for the Harbor Hawks. Most of them all coming out of the pen. Once again, his first start. 5.68 ERA. Heavy fastball. Nice slider working behind it from the flamethrower from Southern Miss.
And the lineup he will be going up against is a Bourne lineup that has been one of the best in the Cape League these past few games.
Yeah, over the last couple of games, they have been hitting it really well. Their 7th batting average at 246 doesn't really show it, but it's really Ethan Conrad, Merrick Houston, Braden Holcomb, the top 3 of this lineup for the Bourne Braves that has been producing. Conrad, after Advincula's silent night last night, jumps over Jaron, the Katuitt Kettleer, to take on the top spot in the Cape Cod Baseball League in batting average right now, understanding how big that is for his future prospects in career. To say yourself that you're the batting king of the Cape Cod Baseball League right now, the leadoff batter, and Ethan Conrad stands in with it.
And Ethan Conrad had a red-hot start to his summer. You wondered how long could that keep up? The athlete who will be going to Wake Forest in the fall to start there. But Conrad, these past 2 games, 4 for 5, 2 walks, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. So he is red-hot right now. And this is a Bourne lineup that has scored the most runs in the league in the past 15 days. They've got the highest OPS. The only team that's anywhere near them in those numbers is Hyannis. Hyannis is second in both those categories. So this has the makings to be a slugfest. We'll talk about the pitching in a little bit, though, because both pitching staffs have been very good as well. So Ethan Conrad walking up into the batter's box, towing the back line of the left-handed batter's box, and says hello to Jackson West. Drake Meeks going from the stretch, looks in for the sign. Here on this Friday evening, Meeks kicks and deals a ball high, and we are underway for this Western Division Finals rematch.
And for Meeks, he had a very short outing against the Wareham Gatemen. Struggled with command a little bit, worked behind the counts, and it was the Wareham Gatemen coming out on top with solid contact. Went ahead of the count. They got really good swings off, and so look for him to try to get ahead of the count early.
So 1-1 to Ethan Conrad. A swing and a miss at the ball up at the eyes. 97 that time. Talking to Tanner Cunha before the game, asking him what the thought process was, and he talked about how as a freshman, Drake Meeks has so much projectability and so much talent. As it's a high chopper towards J.P. Acosta. He will underhand flip it to the New Harbor Hawk, Donovan Cash, who gets his first putout of the season.
And when you're a true freshman, young guy, and the first 3 fastballs you throw in tonight's matchup are 96, 97, and back to 96. I mean, what a projectable arm. You have a freshman at 6'4", 200, big stature, a lot of projectability with Drake Meeks.
And the question for him, how long can he go? You talk about the high velo, and for him, the question, and in this starter role, you want to try and have your starter go 2 innings plus. That would be 2 2/3. I think you would consider a very good start for Meeks. It's the question with bringing out the high velo arm, what does he do?
As the slider misses a little bit inside. And, you know, talking to Tanner Cunha, for those who saw the pregame show, I tried to get it out of him a little bit. Like, what are you expecting from Meeks? Is it more of an opener role, a starter role as the pitch is high? And he kind of just said, you know, we'll see as the game goes along. You never like to try to predict those sort of things.
Going to let the game dictate it, and that has been one of the strong suits of this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team.
As it is a 4-pitch walk to Merrick Houston, who will start things off for Bourne, the first base runner of the evening.
Houston, a really good batter, comes in first in the Cape Cod Baseball League, an on-base percentage at .467. Fourth in walks with 23, picking up his 24th right there. He is going to make pitchers work, and for Drake Meeks, who works around the zone primarily with his stuff, it's going to make him try and go into the zone.
It's now a guy in Braden Holcomb in the 3-hole who started things off this season very hot, was hitting for average. But a guy at his size, listed at 6'5", 257 pounds, a very strong individual. Didn't connect for any home runs. But recently he has really started to get that power stroke going. 2 homers in the past 6 games.
And I know since all 3 of us were here in 2023, it's so similar to what the Bourne Braves had last year.
It's a high fly ball into deep center field. Ranging back is Kepley to the wall, and that ball is gone. Right on cue, Braden Holcomb with an inside-out swing to deep center field. And Bourne out to a 2-0 lead early.
And that's a 97-mile-per-hour fastball inside on the hands. I mean, to somehow get your barrel inside, keep your hands inside that baseball and shoot that into center field, even to the right of second base. Great job using the hands and showing that power to dead center over 379.
Power v Power comes in at 97, leaves at 97, traveling 402 feet. A no-doubter there, climbing the trees out in center. And for Bourne, an aggressive start.
Chopper to the left side, fielding it at short as Mason White, and the strong throw gets over to Cash in time for the second out.
And if Meeks is going to want to extend into this game, that's a big out. Go right back in at the Bourne hitters. And talked about before, if you want to get some length out of him, so far he has 5 appearances, only 6 and a third inning of work. It's been short outings from him thus far. So we'll see what the plan is to go with it, if they try to extend him or if they keep him and just use him as an opener.
And that home run to Braden Holcomb, it's hard to blame Drake Meeks. That pitch was not even in the zone. It was in on the hands at 97. The ability to pull his hands in on that, that might be the most impressive swing we've seen all season long from anybody.
And in for the Bourne Braves, that's now their 14th home run on the road out of their 18 home runs on the season. They hit very well away from Durham Park, especially on the long ball.
0-2 to Garrett Michelle. Misses.
Meeks has an opportunity to start it with the home run, but be able to respond and gets the strikeout right there.
So Drake Meeks makes one mistake on, or not really a mistake, but Braden Holcomb takes the fastball deep into center field. It's a 2-0 Bourne Braves lead. Joe Areola, the Demon Deacon, out on the mound for the Braves. And Nico, what are we going to see from him?
He has a fastball slider curve mix this past spring. He's been working on a changeup this summer. I've seen it a few times working on it. It has the tendency to keep that one low. You see his stats here. Harbor Hawks have seen Areola already, the Wake Forest Demon Deacon, 2-1 record. Has a 6 ERA, comes in for another start. And so far from him, the key is going right after hitters, and when he gets behind is when he's got himself in trouble.
And going after hitters, he's going to have to go after a lineup that is trying to go tit for tat with this Bourne Braves team. And it starts things off with Jackson West, who had a 5-for-5 day the first time he was in the leadoff spot, had a 1-for-4 day the following night, but still has found a really big spot for Hyannis in this leadoff position when they are in play. And for West, it's a big spot that you are able to have and have West be there. And it's a really solid top third. You look at Jackson West, Josh Tate, Kane Kepley, all with speed. And for Hyannis, they're going to use a little bit of small ball, you would have to imagine, early to get runs across.
And, you know, it feels like Kane Kepley truly is the head honcho of this Harbor Hawks lineup. Doesn't matter where he is, but the offense goes through him. When he's on the base paths, he can make so much happen. We saw it yesterday. Hit the home run, then use small ball to his advantage. Beat out the bunt and scored the 4th run of the day, providing some insurance for the Harbor Hawks as Jackson West will step into the left-handed batter's box. Joe Areola pitching for the first time in 12 days. Maybe trying to limit his innings, but also part of that, Bourne at one point did not play 4 days in a row. They had off as West swings through the fastball, 0-1.
Hey, coming in fresh and coming ready to go attack.
0-1 to West, fastball up and in.
But there's also can be the inverse. You've been away for 12 days and haven't been on your regular rotation, so there might be a little bit of rust.
West fouls one straight back on that fastball, seeing it for the third time in the at-bat.
For West, looking to try create a spark early for this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team that has spark ability. They just need to have it happen.
Two balls, 2 strikes to West. Breaking ball that misses away. West has worked the count full.
And for Areola, he has a slider and a curveball, both as his breaking balls. Likes to use a slider more against lefties. You saw that one there, missed glove side from him.
3-2, line back up the middle, off of Areola. He throws the hat to the side, flips onto first base, and in time, as it is a really nice grab by David Lewis, who has to compete with West coming down the baseline for the first out.
And that's just a tough play for everybody there. For Areola to be able to go make the play after getting hit, finding the ball, turning around and making a tough throw. But as a first baseman, it's the Demon Deacon turning around and throwing a missile at him. You see him barehand here and toss a very firm throw over to first base. And it was David Lewis having the good reaction time to be able to get a glove on it for the first out.
So a very close play over there at first base. But either way, it is the first out, and Josh Tate will be hitting in the 2 spot today. They've moved him around a bit more recently, has really done a nice job anywhere they've put him. First pitch to him up and in, 95 with the fastball.
And that seems to be the consensus of this Harbor Hawks lineup. You had guys like Nick Groves, who was in the 9-hole 1-2. Jackson West have been up and down the lineup, and they've all been producing wherever you put these guys. And we talked about the infield always moving around defensively. A lot of things moving around for the Harbor Hawks, and so far, everybody's been successful no matter where you put them.
1-1 to Tate, roped into left field for a base hit, and Josh Tate does it again. Takes the slider 96 off the bat for the first Harbor Hawks base hit of the evening.
A very well hit ball. Comes in at 86, goes out at 96 off the bat of Josh Tate. And it's a great hit. It's a hit at every level. A nice liner that gets past the infield and finds its way short of Becerra in left field. And now Hyannis has a base runner on.
Josh Tate, the man on first, has blazing speed. Had a stolen base yesterday, also got caught once.
And this is a duo that I love, having Josh Tate on while Kane Kepley is in the box. You saw it yesterday on the bunt with Kane Kepley putting down the bunt with Tate at third, and it was a ballsy call that paid off for Hyannis.
1-0 misses up and in. And you wouldn't even be shocked to see Kepley try to get a bunt down if you go to a 1-strike count.
And the crazier thing through talking with him along with Mitch Carricker pregame, it was all Kane Kepley. He made the call himself.
Chopped to second base. It will be just the play to first for Camden Kojal, as he will get Kepley. But Josh Tate does advance to second base, and Michael Detallo, who had a 3-hit day last night, will have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
And Josh Tate trying to help out Kane Kepley there, standing in front of the baseball as long as he could before dashing past it, trying to give Camden Kojal a tough time seeing the ball to be able to make the play. But great job to focus in from Kojal to get the play at first.
So Detallo at the plate now, the Dallas Baptist Patriot. He's been here all year long and has hit the entire time.
And for Detallo, team leading in RBIs with 25, which is 4th in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
He'll roll over on one, to the shortstop, Merrick Houston, who makes the easy play on to first. And it is a 1-2-3-4 inning for Joe Areola. Bourne still has the lead 2-0 going into the second.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
The Nat Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor of the Harbor Hawks all season long. The Nat Cape Cod offers delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit natcapecod.com to order online today. The Nat Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor of the Harbor Hawks all season long.
Drake Meeks back out there for a second inning of work. My bad, Jacob Irons. I had the ad read right in front of me, and I didn't even notice.
Gave me the, where is it look? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's in your hands.
It's literally right underneath your hands and by your scorebook. Look at that.
Scorebook.
Yeah, scorebook.
Loose term.
Loose term
around here.
Loose term for his notebook.
It works for me.
That just has the defense and then the batting lineup on one side.
It's perfect.
Hey, does the job.
It's my sport finance notebook. If I need any information, it's right there. Drake Meeks out there for another inning of work, starting off the number 6 hitter, Tristan Becerra, with a strike.
And it's going to be huge for Drake Meeks to be ahead to allow him to work in that slider with the fastball.
Tristan Becerra, for any that remember the last time Hyannis played Bourne at Doran Park, he hit an absolute nuke to right center field. Pitch just misses low, 97, dotted on the knees.
Meeks has been attacking all fastballs here and doing a great job. 96, 97 miles per hour, all working corners. First fastball right down in the zone.
And stays with the fastball there as well. Reaching at 96 for Meeks and has a really solid batter in Tristan Becerra going up against.
And there goes Becerra down swinging. Drake Meeks blowing the fastball right under his bat for out number 1.
Back-to-back strikeouts now if you go back to the top of the first. And it's the fastball that's going to work right now for him. I think we've seen slider twice, if that. And for Meeks, especially in that starter role, being able to hold the slider is huge so that you can use it the second time through.
David Lewis gets brushed back by the fastball in on his hands. David Lewis out of North Greenville. Hit .390 this past spring with 24 bombs. He chops one foul.
Mitch Carricker feeling it on the hop by the dugout as he stands right off the side of the fencing.
One and one. It's a slider that catches the outside part of the plate.
Be able to use that slider there for the call strike. And talked about, it's been fastball. Look for him to go back to it.
There is the fastball. It's a high fly ball. Big league pop-up into right field. Josh Tate under it for the second out.
For Drake Meeks, doing a really good job showing composure and working himself ahead. And now 2 outs to go up against Kojal.
Kojal, another guy who's been here all summer long. And, Hyannis, one of the few teams, or not one of the few teams, but one of the teams that has had a lot of turnover from the beginning of the summer. You look around the field today, and really just a couple guys who have been here from the start. Michael DiTallo, Kane Kepley. And that's it. List ends there. Hyannis lost Eric Snow for the summer, as he will head down to Auburn to get things settled there.
And for Snow, finished a fabulous summer on Cape Cod. 5th in batting average at .326. 9th in on-base percentage at .407. He put a very solid summer together. Showed why he's making the jump into the SEC.
Meeks misses with the fastball at the feet. Kojal works the walk with 2 outs.
For Meeks, he falls behind in counts. We've seen it earlier already in this ball game. Walked Merrick Houston. It was Braden Holcomb able to put the 2-run shot over center field. Chris Stanfield showing a lot of power here. So, again, it wasn't a bad pitch from Meeks to Holcomb. It was just an even better swing, an in-and-out swing from Braden Holcomb to somehow turn it down in the 97 pitch to center field.
Now Chris Stanfield, who has been the leadoff hitter for the Braves most of the season, has really found a lot of success against Hyannis as well in that leadoff spot. Hit a home run earlier in the year, as he hits a ball very well into center field. Kepley ranging back. He's at the wall. He leaps, and it's off the base of the wall. Kojal rounding third. He will score standing up. Stanfield running into third. He's in standing up. And it is an RBI triple from the new LSU Tiger.
And that's just another beautiful swing from the Bourne Braves. That one looked like it had enough carry to maybe slide over 379 over there in dead center field. Kane Kepley just coming up short, 95 off the bat. Chris Stanfield stays hot against the Harbor Hawks.
And that 379 sign, not accurate, as that ball went 396. But either way, Stanfield really barreled that ball up and continues his success against the Harbor Hawks.
Once more, Bourne is able to get another run, put their lead to 3.
1-0 gets called a strike.
And for Bourne, they're playing for a lot. If they are able to pick up a win tonight, they would sit a half game back of Wareham for the 3rd position.
It's a line drive off the label of the bat for Ethan Conrad. That will score Stanfield in. It's another 2 runs here for Bourne, all coming with 2 outs.
Very familiar to what happened in the first. He got the first guy on Conrad, and then things spiraled a little bit back in the first. And seeing it again here, great swing from Conrad right over the head of Mason White, the shortstop. The Bourne Braves bats are alive here early.
Ethan Conrad, a delayed steal, and a throw from West goes all the way into center field. Conrad bluffs as if he's going to third base and ends up staying put. So Ethan Conrad with a delayed steal. It will be his 19th of the summer.
Perfectly timed, too. You see Jackson West drop to a knee there. As soon as he saw that, Conrad was off for the races. But a great job from J.P. Acosta, putting the tag down, just freezing Conrad enough for him not to be able to advance to third.
One-0 count to Merrick Houston in the dirt. Ethan Conrad, second most steals in the Cape Cod Baseball League, just trailing Nick Dumanel for Brewster, who just broke their franchise record for stolen bases in a season. He's got 25. As Ethan Conrad got a really nice secondary lead and will advance to third on the wild pitch.
And now, just like that, the Bourne Braves have another runner 90 feet away, and they have come out attacking early.
We'll see if Merrick Houston has the green light on the 3-0 pitch. Doesn't matter as the ball is underneath the knees for ball 4.
And that was Meek's 39th pitch of his outing, and Harbor Hawks bullpen going to start stretching. Nobody thrown quite yet, but some arms have become up and active.
And right now, down 4-0. You need to get out of this inning right here. Momentum is very much in Bourne's favor, and there's not a lot of energy here at McKeon Park.
No, an eerily quiet night here in the middle part of the Cape. For Hyannis just trying to find a little bit of energy here themselves and get ready to go. Find this third out, get into the dugout, and bring the energy yourself.
And it was eerily quiet even to start the game, but once this game started, the Bourne Braves sucked any of the life that was here at McKeon Park. I mean, a great start, hit the 2-run home run, and now have added another 2 spot here and still threatening.
So runners on the corners for Braden Holcomb, who went deep out to center field in his first at-bat. His third home run in the past 8 games. One-0 slider, bottom of the zone, no call. 2-0.
And it was the fastball that Braden Holcomb took to dead center field. And talked about it a little bit off air, Josh. I mean, an unbelievable swing from Braden Holcomb. And we talk about it time and time again. To be able to get a fastball 97 right on the hands and go the other way with it almost, again, to the right of second base, to dead center field, fading to right center field. What an impressive swing.
Certainly a smaller strike zone today. It's been consistent in the little amount of time. Ball is in the dirt, and Ethan Conrad will trot home for the 5th run of the day. Braves a commanding 5-0 lead here in the second.
And for Hyannis, they're letting this up with 2 outs, and for Bourne Braves showing their approach with 2 outs, being aggressive, keeping the foot down, and not just rolling over to end the half inning as Joe Stieber, the Texas Arlington product, starts to get warm.
And going the other way is Holcomb. The ball will stay up, though, for Josh Tate, who hustles in to make the inning-ending grab. 3 more runs for Bourne. It's 5-0 Braves going into the bottom of the second.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Hello there, Cape Cod? We're Bourne Heating and Cooling. We've been around for 38 years and counting and have served over 5,300 customers. We specialize in the installation and service of your HVAC systems. Our favorite part of the job is making sure our customer is 100% satisfied.
We've been using Bourne Heating and Cooling for over 20 years now. They've installed our furnace, our central air conditioning, and our hot water heater. Their service department is great, and I'd highly recommend this company to anyone.
We hope to hear from you. Give us a call anytime. Go Harbor Hawks!
Bottom of the second inning, Joe Areola back out there, and he will face Donovan Cash here for what will be his first at-bat in the Cape Cod League. And Gavin Cash out of Kennesaw State, we mentioned him in the open. The NECBL product this past season for the Ocean State Waves hit .367 there. 27 RBIs, 3 homers. And he will get first licks against Joe Areola.
He gets first licks here in the bottom of the second, looking to try and spark something. He was my pregame player to go with a home run. And taking a look at his NECBL numbers, it's a league that favors the hitters, and they did a really good job, the Ocean State Waves, allowing him to be in the lineup consistently, playing 39 games out of their 44-game schedule.
The Waves were eliminated, which is why Cash was able to come up and play in the Cape League. As Cash rolls over a ground ball to Holcomb. And 2 pitches, 1 out. As Cash makes the first one of the inning.
It's a great addition for the Harbor Hawks. He grounded out there, but good swing. Saw him take a couple of good swings earlier in the batting cage as well as in the turtle for batting practice. And a lot of these later additions, sometimes these guys weren't playing summer ball before, but you get a guy who just played 39 games already this summer. So a guy who's been seeing the baseball, seeing good pitching. So you get a guy who's not going to take much time to get ready for the CCBL.
Another guy who's seeing the baseball well right now, Dalton Bargo, hit a big home run to start scoring off yesterday at Cotuit. Just a slider that he hooked down the right field line. And he takes a big swing and a miss at the slider that time from Areola.
And for Areola, his fastball is 91 to 93 usually, and that slider is very firm. It's about 86 to 88. It almost has the same velocity as like a cutter, but it's very firm.
And there was that fastball that just snuck in behind Bargo's bat. Same tunnel as the slider, but the slider dropped down and away. Fastball rode in on the hands. 1-2 popped foul. Now, the Braves, these past 15 days, it's been 9 games for them. And in that span, it has not been close. They've been the best team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. By far the best ERA with a 2.1 ERA in those 9 games. Next closest, your Hyannis Harbor Hawks at 3.58. So a very wide gap between the 1 and the 2.
For Scott Lander's crew, it's impressive how, for his time on Cape Cod, he has been able to get his team playoff ready in the month of August. There's the saying in the major leagues, built for October. Scott Lander's crew is built for August in the Cape Cod Baseball League. They know after the All-Star break, and they turn it on.
And it's so interesting to see because there's no turnover from last year's team to this year's team with the exception of a guy like Garrett Michelle, for example, who's in the lineup today. But Michelle hasn't even been one of the bigger parts of this lineup. It has been all new guys who have just turned things up as the season has gone on.
And I think what that shows an outside viewer looking in, it's got to be the coaching staff. It's got to be the culture that is instilled in their dugout with Scott Landers, with Saltalamacchia, who have been constants here for their back-to-back chase. We're now looking to go for the three-peat this year and have instilled a really strong work ethic. And for Hyannis, you see it with Mitch Carricker as well. You see very similar showings between the two dugouts of how they operate and how they approach the game of baseball.
As the slider runs in on Bargo, and he gets plunked. So he'll be the first base runner of the second inning as Carson Bowles comes to the plate.
And a good at bat from Bargo, fouled off a couple tough pitches. It was Arriola trying to use the breaking ball away, but Bargo just being a dirtbag in the bat, just fouling off some tough pitches, finding a way to keep the at-bat alive, and then finally makes Arriola make a mistake. That slider not able to get around on it. Gets a hit by a pitch, finds a way on.
Carson Bowles watches the fastball go by him. Inside part of the plate for a strike. Bowles has not gotten super regular playing time, just with how well the outfielders have played since Eddie Pelk got here. Pelk getting the off day today. Tate and Kepley, the other two outfielders.
It's a great problem to have. Talked about at the beginning of the year with the middle infield. And now as the season progressed, and we talked about the turnover Hyannis has had, that it's now the outfield that you don't want to leave any of their names out of the lineup with how regularly they've been able to produce for you.
As Bowles scoots out of the way of the fastball inside. 2-1. Now, Carson Bowles, another guy. We talk about how Peebles has gotten a bit unlucky. Bowles, in a similar manner, has hit a bunch of line drives that have been finding gloves.
And you know it's going to come for Bowles as he starts to reach the end of his summer here for Hyannis. But I very much expect him to be a very large contributing factor to the Arkansas Razorback team that, in my opinion, is poised to make it to Omaha. They are about as good as a young and talented team as we've seen just from the products that have been here on Cape Cod.
Absolutely. Pitch in makes Bowles dance out of the way once more, and now Hyannis might have something brewing with Mason White coming up and runners on first and second base.
And a great at-bat from Carson Bowles, and yeah, these Arkansas Razorbacks have really showed out. Harbor Hawks know that a little too well. Vihiva Aloy, earlier the shortstop for Arkansas, swung it really well. 4 home runs in 2 games. Carson Bowles puts up another good at-bat, finding a way on.
So a left-on-left matchup for Mason White. One of the tougher lefties in the league, Joe Arriola. Starts him off with the curveball. Now Arriola, really just one bad outing that has his ERA at 6. But when we've seen him against Hyannis, he has looked real sharp, and it's looking that way so far today. The stuff looks good.
And the breaking ball has had a lot of bite to it. Just been a few times where he's missed glove side. You saw it there, back-to-back breaking balls, missing to that glove side. Could be what the conversation that Chase Meggers is talking to his southpaw about.
For Hyannis, trying to keep the pressure on here. Stand down 5, but it's only in the bottom of the second right now and has a lot of baseball left to be played. And for Hyannis, if they can put pressure on the starting pitcher here of Arriola, that bodes well for them to try and get into the bullpen and work their pitching staff.
Big red light for Mason White. as he steps out of the batter's box. "3-1 coming. A hefty swing and a foul ball back out of play.
And that's a 91 fastball. Middle away. Good big swing from Mason White there in a hitter's count.
And he's trying to make this a 2-run game with one swing, but now in a 2-strike count. Gonna be a little bit more difficult. Bargo on second, Bulls on first, 3-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. It's the big slider that catches the inner part of the plate. And there's the second out as JP Acosta comes to the plate.
That's a great slider. Right in on the hands. Just freezes Mason White. You see him put his foot down. Couldn't pull the triggers. That one looks like it was starting at his shoulder. With that slider of Arriola, it's very firm and late break. It's not going to be a sweeping slider. It's more of a gyro with late break. And just clips that inside corner. Great 3-2 pitch from the southpaw from Wake Forest.
Acosta, a little bit of a half swing to foul that pitch back. Acosta playing in his first home game as a Harbor Hawk. Played at Chatham. That was his first official game in the Cape Cod League. And he ropes one into left field. It will get down for a base hit. Dalton Bargo rounding third. The throw comes in, but it is not on line. So Bargo scores, and JP Acosta has an RBI single to get Hyannis on the board.
A really good piece of hitting by JP Acosta, able to get his barrel on a pitch that's inner part of the zone and lands it in front of the ranging in Becerra, and it's a great part of the game. And now runners at first and second for Jackson West. And Hyannis showing a little bit of life here. Get 2 on, and like we always talk about, Nico, Hyannis is always 1 hit away.
We know the comeback they tried to get going at Chatham. Scored 5 runs in the 9th as Jackson West, a slow roller to the right side. Kogel is right there to make the play. So there's the third out of the inning. Off the bat of Jackson West, but JP Acosta drives in the first Harbor Hawk run of the day. Will go to the third inning. 5-1 Braves.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Harbor Hawks fighting for the first seed in the West. As you see there, we are very close right now. Falmouth has been eliminated. There's a fight for who is going to get eliminated in the East, but as you can see, it's just a couple losses in the loss column that are separating 4 teams.
Yeah, the West is stacked along with the East. The question for the East is, what's the seeding? Who is going to be where, and what team is not going to be finding themselves on August 6th? But for the West, everybody knows they're in. It's the question, who's on the dance floor and who's leading the party?
And you talk about how Wareham has been ice cold. They're losing to Cotuit right now, 5-0. If Cotuit and Hyannis were to both win out, Cotuit would get the 1 seed, as they would finish with the same record. Cotuit has the head-to-head. Right now, Hyannis has got a mountain to climb. It'll be Joe Stieber to try to get things done for them.
And correct that. That's a 2-run shot off the bat of Jaron Advinkle. It's now 7-0 Cotuit. And they are putting themselves in strong positioning, taking on the Wareham Gatemen. And if you're a Bourne Braves fan, you're loving that on top of it, because if you win tonight and Wareham loses, you now stand a half game back. And you're very much in the conversation. And for Bourne, they have a doubleheader tomorrow. It's a makeshift doubleheader with first game happening at Eldridge Park, then going over to Durham Park later in the day.
It's going to be a lot of driving.
A lot of driving. You are literally going the length of the Cape, take on the two teams. And big Friday night of Cape Cod lead action.
First pitch swinging is a ground ball to the right side for the first out of the inning. That time, Chase Meggers making the out.
And it's going to be Joe Stieber on the mound from Sulphur Springs, Texas, UTA Arlington Maverick. Stands at 6'4", 228. Have seen him already once this summer. One game, came in for 1 inning, and it was a big fly. That hurt him. 18 ERA, but once again, only an inning of work. Doesn't show much, so excited to see him back out on the mound first time here at McKeon Park.
And for Hyannis, it's huge to try and get some quality reps from your arms heading into the playoffs, to see full arsenals, see how they work in different situations, because you want to have a good feeling on your guys going in and knowing what you are getting out of when you make the call to bring them in, especially in a single game elimination opening round.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys that are coming in, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get with any of them. They're new to the team. You've got Stieber, who's only pitched once. I mean, there could be diamonds in the rough as Michelle laces one into left field. It's a leaping grab by Carson Bowles to make the catch for the second out.
That's a good swing there from the lefty, Michelle. And Carson Bowles ranging to it. Gave it a little leap. Made the play. Working to his arm side.
Now it'll be another lefty, Tristan Becerra, the Clemson Tiger, up to the plate. 2 quick outs for Stieber so far, both put in play.
And for Stieber, he's going to have 2 fastballs, fastball and a cutter. Has a changeup and a slider. Once again, we've seen the cutter and the slider work very well off each other in the past. We'll see how he can manage there.
Stieber, a teammate of one of our baseball ops guys, Austin Wallace, this past season. Big swing and a miss from Becerra. He whiffs on the changeup.
Yeah, that's a really good arm side changeup there. 2-0 count to have the confidence. If you have that changeup, you have the command. A 2-0 is expecting fastball, and you pull the string right there. That's a disgusting pitch.
Tries it again, but misses away. 3-1. Another swing and a miss on the changeup. Three-two, 2 outs to Tristan Becerra. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Joe Stieber makes Becerra look silly on that one. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for the Maverick. Before we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, we've got Josie Broyles standing by.
Today is Red Shirt Friday, where we honor our hero of the game. Today's hero is Corey Mays. Corey Mays is a major in the Marines and actually graduated here from Barnstable High School. Her family was born and raised here in Marston Mills and actually hosted players for the Hyannis Mets when they were younger. One of them being 15-year Red Sox catcher Jason Varitek. Jason Varitek helped earn World Series championship titles in 2004 and 2007. During his time as a player for Hyannis, he won a title in 1991 and was CCBL MVP in 1993. We're happy to honor Corey here today, and her family is still here in Marston Mills, always supporting the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Josie. Always great to have the heroes of the games on Friday, get to know some of the good people in our neighborhood, helping the rest of the town out in their own different ways. So thank you for that story, Josie. As now in the bottom of the third inning, Joe Ariola trying to get through this Harbor Hawks lineup for the second time. And it's a Harbor Hawks lineup that has shown flashes today. It doesn't feel like there's no energy at all. Like, down by 4 runs, you feel like they can sport a little bit of a comeback here.
Oh, why? I think saying they're down 4 runs and being, well, chop it up as a loss is a little bit of an overkill statement.
Yeah.
Especially with how Hyannis is a contagious hitting team. And once one gets the contagion, they start rolling down the hill.
As first pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1 to Tate. Another strike, this time on the outside corner. Now this is a Bourne team that has really had Hyannis' number for multiple years now, but especially this year, Hyannis has beaten every team but them as Tate goes down on 3 strikes.
And it was a tie in their first matchup between the two sides, and that was the closest Hyannis has been and how you have felt. Every other game, they feel like they have been out of it early on.
Kepley fouls one straight back.
And the Bourne Braves like to attack the Harbor Hawks like the Harbor Hawks like to attack other teams. They get ahead early, and they stay ahead, and
something fell from the backstop out onto the field.
Looks like a sprinkler head right there, and I'll just toss it right back by our crowd mic here.
home plate umpire Joe Labella giving our little crowd mic a little pat there.
A little love tap. 0-1 to Kepley in there for strike 2. Ariola seems to be locked in right now. Kepley gets into his 2-strike stance. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts for the Demon Deacon.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time, and he's setting up the Harbor Hawks hitters exactly how he wants to. Against Josh Tate, he was working changeup sliders away and then put a tunnel outside, missing the plate on the fastball, and it was Tate swinging on it, expecting that pitch to come back in. And for Kepley, everything down the zone, then broke a breaking ball there low.
It'll be the first ball of the inning to Michael DiTallo. Ruins a shot at an immaculate inning. 1-0 to the Patriot. Line drive right back up the middle. It's another base hit for DiTallo.
Yesterday had a 3-for-5 day, reaching on an error in that, and then struck out on the last one. Talking to him today, I said, hey, put together a really solid day for yourself, and he could only talk about the strikeout. he couldn't talk about the 3 singles, which were beautifully placed, hard hit balls.
Yeah.
They were some of the best hitting he's produced, and he could only talk about the negative, and it shows you the gamer Michael Detallo is and how he wants to be the best version of himself he can be, and shows you right there. Has a grounder that goes to Holcomb back in second, but finds himself back here early, getting back aboard to first.
As Donovan Cash gets clipped just barely by the pitch, and he is awarded first base. So with 2 outs, Dalton Bargo at the plate, and he's got runners on first and second.
And the Harbor Hawks going to try to put up a crooked number of their own here with 2 outs. Saw the Bourne Braves do it back in the second. I'll bring up Dalton Bargo, who's been swinging the bat well.
First pitch coming to Bargo. Takes the slider inside. A tight strike zone from home plate umpire Joe LaBella. It's been consistent both ways. One 0 to Bargo, a big cut at the high cheddar.
The fastball upstairs is such a tough pitch to leave off. It's coming right at your eyes. You feel like it's within striking reach, and it's just not in your natural swing plane.
Fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
And not only does it just look like it's in striking zone, but the ball looks like a balloon when it's a high fastball. It looks like you can hit that ball 500 feet pull side. I mean, it looks beautiful. And then you swing right through it, and you just feel a little helpless after the fastball is higher than you expected.
And it is a line drive over the head of hitting coach Sean Riley, who gives a little chuckle towards Dalton Bargo, but 95 off the bat. That one is scary.
And even scarier, he's helping the runner at first base. He's helping Donovan Cash, making sure that Lewis stays back. So he's got his back turned towards the hitter and barely caught that one out of the corner of his eye. Able to get out of it. Always a smile on his face.
Joe Arriola trying to work out of a jam. 1-2 coming to Bargo. Fouled straight back into the netting behind home plate.
Dalton Bargo doing a good job fighting off pitches here. Has himself in a 1-2 count, and Hyannis trying to take advantage with a runner in scoring position.
One, two. In there, strike 3. Bargo knew it, and so did Arriola. Arriola gets out of the 3rd inning unharmed. It's 5-1 Braves.
Hello there, Cape Cod. We're at Bourne Heating and Cooling. We've been around for 38 years and counting and have served over 5,300 customers. We specialize in the installation and service of your HVAC systems. Our favorite part of the job is making sure our customer is 100% satisfied.
We've been using Bork Heating and Cooling for over 20 years now. They've installed our furnace, our central air conditioning, and our hot water heater. Their service department is great, and I'd highly recommend this company to anyone.
We hope to hear from you. Give us a call anytime. Go Harbor Hawks!
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Top of the 4th inning, and it's our favorite time of the day. It is time for trivia. Who is the last Harbor Hawk to win the Cape Cod Baseball League's most outstanding pitcher?
Scott Firth, 2011.
Scott Firth was the answer to a question a little while ago.
But maybe that's why Dan Bottolino put him back
That's
on
true.
there. Maybe he's trying to game with the system. I'm just saying, Dan's a very good trivia writer. I'm going Scott Firth.
I'm going to go A.
Sean Mania. I'm going to go D. Chris Benson. Just because.
Going way back to 1994.
Yeah. I think that's a horrible guess. I'm
I
going to
think
change.
that's a horrible
I'm going to
guess,
change
too.
it. I'm going to change it to Dakota Hudson, just to be different, but also
not be in 1994.
Yeah. So we'll get the answer to you guys shortly.
And make your picks at home. Play along. See if you guys can beat us or be correct with us.
Yeah. Comment your answers on in the chat. 0-2 coming. It's a slow ground ball. David Lewis goes to Mason White, and he will make the throw on. A nice stretch by Donovan Cash to make the out. And here we go. We are going to get an answer to the trivia. It is Sean Mania, Nico
Way
Sharp.
to go.
Congratulations, getting your first one right of the year.
But my question is, so it was the last. Did Firth win it in 2011? No.
Nope. No, he didn't. Jacob Irons.
Okay.
So Ron Darling was the only other Harbor Hawks pitcher to win it in 1980.
Wow. Jeez. Ron Darling. Hyannis Met, New York Met. Look at that.
And, he could be in the booth with us now, too. He's in that booth for SNY, the New York Mets.
Think if we offered him a contract, he would pick it up?
Well, if he makes what we make.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Make the big bucks here. Chopper foul that Donovan Cash will grab on the right side of the bag.
And first, Stieber had a 1-2-3 inning in the third in his first inning of work, and once again is ahead. That's what you got to ask of your pitchers, and that's what Mitch Carricker has been echoing to his pitching staff from the first game of the season now to game 38. Be ahead.
High fly ball, shallow left field. Mason White calling off his counterparts, Carson Bowles and Dalton Bargo, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Mason White showing off the athleticism once again. He's made the first 2 outs here. We'll see if he completes the inning. Right there in the Bermuda Triangle. Very tough play. You don't see the shortstop call off the left fielder very often, but he had a good beat to it. Carson Bowles just jumping out of the way in time to avoid any kind of collision. And 2 up, 2 down, thanks to the shortstop, Mason White.
Half swing from Chris Stanfield. And it's 0-1.
And we've had conversations about the Harbor Hawk killer between a bunch of players. A couple players up for nomination. Chris Stanfield also could be nominated on that list.
It's a very mixed bag. You got Bennett Markinson on Orleans, Chris Stanfield for Bourne, of course, Wahiva Aloy, who was with YD. I think he'd take the cake if he were still here. What was it, 4 home runs in 2 games?
And you know where he's going to school?
Arkansas.
My point stands on them. I vote Wahiva Aloy. I think that one, what we saw from him was impressive.
A big punch out for Joe Stieber, and he goes through the inning 1-2-3. Top of the 4th is done. We will head to the bottom of the inning here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get a look at how these two teams have fared statistically over the season. And it has been pretty even overall, with Hyannis having the narrow edge on the hitting side and Bourne the edge pitching. And it's been the pitching and hitting for Bourne today that has really done an impressive job.
Yeah, and you look at the Bourne Braves, a very complete team as of late, and they've put themselves in a very good position to have this back half of the summer. The Mass State Lottery here, the game that Josie was telling you about at the beginning of today's ball game, gets all applause and a standing ovation here that she very much deserves.
One of the Cape Cod traditions, having the hero of the game every Friday. And of course, Hyannis wearing those Friday Reds today that every team sports when they're at home on Friday. Carson Bowles will look at a pitch low for ball one.
It's been the southpaw.
Very lackadaisical, going all the way to the warning track. Wasn't doing anything too much. Thought it was going to be a routine fly ball, and then all of a sudden he turns around on it, and it just carried on him a little bit.
See, the wind is blowing out straight away to right center field right now, really dead center. As Mason White at the plate now, 0-1. Big breaker that does not quite break enough to catch the top of the zone.
And he's had the whole arsenal going for him. Fastball, slider, curve, and change. Haven't seen the changeup yet today from the southpaw.
High fly ball from Mason White, not deep enough to get out. Ethan Conrad drifting back. And he makes the catch a few steps in front of the wall. So two loud outs to start off the bottom of the fourth inning for Hyannis, but nothing doing.
And nothing to show for it, just two very loud outs, and not much of wind here. It's just getting into the ether and above the trees, and starts to run on the outfielders right now.
So JP Acosta responsible for the only run scored for Hyannis in the first 3 2/3 innings. Had an RBI single in the second. Just a low line drive into left field. This time he grounds one left side. Merrick Houston fields with the backhand. Long throw over to first base in time. And there is the third out of the inning. Joe Areola now through 4. Just one run allowed. Heading to the top of the fifth. Hyannis trying to catch 4 more runs.
So I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Dean is a whole group of all different kinds of people and communities.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
The lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the NAC Cape Cod. The NAC offers 2 locations, Hyannis and Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit thenacapecod.com to order online today. The NAC Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor of the Harbor Hawks all season long. Joe Stieber back out for another inning of work here in the top of the 5th. He'll be working through the top of the order, 1, 2, 3, starting with Ethan Conrad, who's 1 for 2 on the day.
For Stieber, come in and see the minimum, and that's what you want to have happen, especially for your starter, Drake Meeks, only going 2 innings. Someone's going to have to take the brunt of the work, and for right now, Joe Stieber is a prime candidate for him to be out here and have an extended relief out.
Half swing from Conrad, the appeal down to third base, and he does go around.
Stieber got 7, 8, 9 back in the 4th, so now he faces the top of the lineup for the first time today.
0-1, the changeup waved and missed, and Stieber's got that pitch working for him.
And he's shown that changeup all to lefty so far, and it has such good movement and dive towards that arm side.
And there it is again, a nasty changeup off the plate. Draws a sword from Ethan Conrad, and there's the first out.
Yeah, that changeup has so much movement, and he's shown it all to lefties. Here you have the righty and Merrick Houston up. We haven't seen him throw it to a righty yet, but when you have that much success to it, you could throw it and have it go back foot to the right-handers, but that changeup is working for him so far this afternoon.
Merrick Houston fouls a pitch back off, looked like the face of Jackson West.
Jackson West motioning, I think it was Joe LaBella, the home plate umpire, getting more of a brunt of it there.
0-1 from Stieber in the dirt. Stieber taking a moment here. Check swing from Houston, appeal down, he did not go, 2-1.
Stieber doing a really good job of placing his pitches. He's using the outer part of the zone really well.
2-1 misses low, 3-1, and Houston on the verge of drawing his 3rd walk of the evening. (3-1) slider catches the inside part of the plate, and that ball looked like it was going to hit Houston. He turned out of the way, and it caught the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, Merrick Houston absolutely sitting fastball there, and 3-1 slider. Stieber puts it right where he wants it.
And fastball outside part of the plate. Merrick Houston goes down looking. He started his trot to first, but ends up turning right into the dugout.
That's a good setup pitch there from Stieber. You have the slider working for you. Showed it. Missed it twice on his glove side to Houston. Got behind the count, and then you put a fastball in right behind it. Just froze Houston with that 90-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside.
When you have the pitches he has and being able to sequence them the way he wants to, he's lethal right now. That's now his 4th strikeout through 2 2/3 innings.
1-0, and Holcomb rips a ball into left field. Doesn't get all of it, but still 84 off the bat, and it's a base hit.
But once more, Holcomb takes a pitch that's way inside and is able to get really solid barrel on it to get himself a hit. And Braden Holcomb having himself a day. Had the home run in the first to open up the scoring for the Braves on a pitch. That was a fastball at 96 inside, around the same positioning, maybe a tad lower.
Pitch to Stieber in the dirt. A 1-0 misses away to Chase Beggars, who he is the reigning Cape Cod League hitter of the week. Has really done a nice job recently.
Meggers batting .400 over the last 5 games.
He is the catcher they have landed on. They've had a bit of a rotation behind the backstop this season. But he's really taken the reins.
And has taken the reins and shown why, contributing on both sides of the baseball.
Broken bat up the middle, sliding play by Mason White on the broken bat up the middle. And he cannot make the throw in time as Chase Megger's hustling down the line.
And for Mason White right there, is able to keep Holcomb at second. If that ball trickles into the outfield, well, Kepley has speed. It wouldn't have gone too far. It would have gotten caught up in the grass. And Holcomb has enough speed in his legs to make the jog 90 feet from second to third. So while it doesn't elicit an out for Hyannis, Mason White is able to keep a runner being 90 feet away from home.
Now a little bit of motion in the Hyannis bullpen. Nobody throwing yet, just stretching so far. But this is Stieber's inning. So Garrett Michelle up now with a 2-out opportunity. Lined out to Carson Bowles his last time up, and he swings over the top of the changeup for the first strike.
Stieber has shown you his stuff, and especially against lefties, what he can do.
Ground ball rolled over to Acosta at second base. He'll flip on to first for the out, and Stieber does get out of the jam here as Bourne still leads 5-1. They strand runners on first and second base, and we will send it down to Matt Coates. What do you got for us, Matt?
Thanks, guys. Shockingly, we have some breaking news at this late stage in the season. Not super important, but I still think it's breaking, guys. For the first time all summer, a man not named Mitch Carragher tossed BP for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks today. The manager had to drive his family to the airport as they were leaving Cape for the summer, leading way to a new arm tossing batting practice today. That was assistant pitching coach Tanner Cunha getting the call, the left-hander out there to mimic Joe Arriola, the starter for the Bourne Braves today. So far, only one run across for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but I'm sure we'll see those bats come alive and maybe tip their cap to Tanner and the new BP arm out there. But guys, just from observing BP, you could see the late season energy that this Harbor Hawks team is sporting. Carragher credited it as a big part in the win last night against the Cotuit Cavaliers, which put us at first place in the West. This team still has juice and is very excited as we make a late season and potentially a playoff push. Hopefully, that energy carries us through this game and we can get a comeback victory. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Matt Coates. Always love a good story there, especially, BP. We're so used to seeing Mitch Carragher down there throwing BP, one of the first guys here every day, but this time it had to be Tanner Cunha stepping up, throwing left-handed.
And with throwing BP, open yourselves up to music choice as well. Mitch Carricker has very good music taste. He runs the playlist pregame. However, with Skip not being here, opened up Tanner to vary it up a little bit of rap today in 2000s pop.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what was playing, but he yelled up to me. He's like, hey, play something good. So he was not having whatever music was at first, but it was him and Carson Bowles that were egging on the music change. So
music change sounded good. Yeah, it was that classic rap. It was all the classics we grew up with.
We's a bold statement. I don't think I've ever listened. I don't listen to rap all that often.
So you've never heard the songs that were playing today for BP?
Start at the bottom, I think, though, is the one that I would know.
Wow.
I've never been a rap guy. Just really, I hear it like I work in sports, and it's always on the pregame playlist. So I'll hear a couple here and there, but it never just goes into my mind.
And where do you work in sports?
Various locations.
Where would you say you work most?
Probably Cape Cod.
I think that's a lie.
All year round?
Yeah, no.
Nice.
I didn't know they started a league just for you to work there.
Yeah. Started it just for me. Fall League.
Cape Cod Fall League.
Cape Cod Fall League.
With Jacob Irons.
Who needs school?
Speaking of school, where do you go to school?
You're gonna get this. I give you credit.
It's Notre Dame, guys, in case you didn't know. Jackson West fouled straight back. Got some fans down below who brought their own shrimp cocktail with them to the game. They got a nice little setup down there as Jackson West leaves the breaking pitch.
But yeah, got the whole table set up there, brought their own tablecloth, a couple of plates, some lays. I mean, that's how you watch a ball game. You got the front row seats. They got here early.
And if you Jackson West fly ball to center field. Chris Stanfield under it to make the play, and there is the first out of the inning.
A picnic at the ballpark right there.
That is the theme today is beaching at the ballpark. There you see the shrimp cocktail. And Josie Broyles getting in the way a little bit there, but they certainly got into the beaching at the ballpark theme. We had the lays on during the pregame show as Josh Tate ropes one foul down the left field line.
That was so bad. She just stood up and it was just like,
0-1 coming to Tate. Fouled off down the right field line. Conrad can't get there in time as the ball drops foul by the Bourne bullpen.
And the Bourne bullpen, they have action in their own. Going to be another southpaw going for them. Joe Areola so far not working with too much traffic behind him, only allowing one run through 4 1/3.
It's Bradley Stewart.
Ground ball through the left side. It's a base hit for Josh Tate, and he's on base for the second time tonight. Trying to start a one-out rally here with Kane Kepley.
Josh Tate, 2 singles, both on that breaking ball of Areola. The first one, it was a slider low in the zone. That one looking the same. That one was a 12-6 curveball. There again, once again at the bottom part of the zone. Great job by Tate to keep his weight back, get the barrel out front of it. Perfectly timed, another base hit for the speedy Josh Tate.
Kane Kepley facing Areola. First pitch swinging. It's a pop-up. It's Holcomb calling off his pitcher, Areola. Ends up on top of the mound for the second out. Kane Kepley, 1 pitch, 1 out.
And for Josh Tate, putting together a very nice night 2 singles in there with his dad in attendance. His dad is up here for the remainder of the season and came in today. Josh picked him up from Boston and drove him in and was able to have an opportunity to watch his son play as the season ends.
2 outs for Ditalo, who ripped a base hit up the middle his last time up. Michael Ditalo, a team favorite for sure. You know, it was him and Zach York really that seemed like everyone gravitated towards. Then York had to go, and Blake Cavell came in, and he kind of took over for York there. But Michael Ditalo has been certainly a teammate favorite as the ball gets away and Josh Tate advances to second base.
And for this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team, they're just gelling. There is a chemistry that is clearly there in the dugout for them. They enjoy coming to the field every day. And at this point of the year, especially for individuals like Michael Ditalo that have been here since day one, along with Kane Kepley, it's a long summer. You are playing pretty much every single day. But no one has showed a sign of fatigue.
Line drive from Ditalo into left field. It gets down for a base hit. Josh Tate rounding third. Throw gets cut off, and it is an RBI single for Michael Ditalo. Now a 3-run ball game.
Another great swing there from the debut page of Michael Ditalo. Middle, 87 mile per hour slider, and great base running from Josh Tate and Mitch Carricker, sending him away all day long.
So Donovan Cash, or as a lot of his teammates calling him, Donnie Cash, up to the plate here for the Hawks. Cash 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch today. And he hammers one high in the air, a home run in the elevator shaft. Stanfield ranging in, loses the hat, and makes the play for the 3rd out. So Michael Ditalo does tally one more on the board for the Hawks. They trail by 3 going into the 6th.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome you back. Centerville pie eating competition just wrapping up. And it's a great time to remind all you at home, do you want to host a Hawk and make a lasting connection? Well, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are looking for host families for the 2025 season. Email us at hyannisharborhawks@gmail.com to learn more.
As Joe Stieber back out there for another inning of work, faced some trouble in the 5th inning, but was able to weave his way out of the jam. He'll face Tristan Becerra and the 6, 7, 8 hitters in this inning.
And this is a great call. I think bringing back out Stieber, who's going for 3+ innings, as it's Emis starting to get warm, the new arm from the Duke Blue Devils for Hyannis in the bullpen. Let him get 2 outs here and preserve Emis to try and work out this back third of the game.
As the pitch is low to Becerra. 2-1, another ball taken outside. 3-1. Make that 2-2. 2-2, Becerra grounds it to the right side. Cash moving over, will underhand flip to Stieber, who gets his bare hand on the base for the out. What a leaping grab by Joseph Stieber.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes? Stieber coming off the mound. He's got to get down and using his lengthy wingspan, going vertically with it to get the out. What a play. Wow.
So with one out, it'll be David Lewis to the plate.
Yeah, what an unbelievable athletic play from Stieber, but kind of made me hold my breath for a second. A pitcher, you're using your pitching hand and there's metal spikes. I mean, that's a very close bang play, and whew, if you're a UTA Maverick fan or coach, sigh of relief there. But what an athletic play from the right-handed arm.
Now he's behind on Lewis 2-0.
Way to take the fun out of it. I thought that was it's the more realistic approach, yes. Probably shouldn't have a pitcher going with their throwing hand down with metal cleats, but Stieber risking it for the biscuit right there and gets the out.
I love it. It's a big game. No, absolutely unbelievably athletic play. And pitchers are athletes. 100% behind that. Love that one, Jacob Irons. Pitchers are definitely athletes. And Stieber showed it off there.
3-0 pitch in the dirt. David Lewis works a 4-pitch walk to bring up Camden Kogel. And that will bring out Mitch Carricker now. Believe he has motioned to the bullpen, or maybe not yet, has not taken the ball from Stieber. Talking to him, seeing how he's feeling, but he has certainly done a real nice job. There's been no motion made. As will be the left-hander Camden Kogel up next, and it looks like Carricker got what he needed to hear, and Stieber in there for another at-bat.
And you see them point to home plate, almost saying like, hey, get this guy, like this is your guy right here. And you don't know what was said there, but it could be, hey, this is your guy here, or hey, this is your last batter, or hey, we'll see how this guy goes. But we'll see how aggressive Stieber attacks Camden Kogel.
Big swing and a miss from Kogel.
Well, I think Mitch Carricker would be okay if he keeps having that nasty pitch come off the hands of Stieber.
Double play opportunity here for Hyannis to escape the jam. And there's a ground ball. Back up to second is one. Mason White to first. It's a double play. Joe Stieber with a PFP masterclass here in the top of the 6th inning. Stieber fields it with the backhand. Mason White finishes it off. And that will do it here in the top of the 6th inning. But we do have Josie Broyles standing by with a couple special guests.
I'm here with Parker, Matthew, and they're all the way from Connecticut, and it's their first time supporting the Hawks. What's your favorite part about being at McKeon so far?
Players, how they're really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, the players are really friendly, and we love making friends with them.
It's really fun coming here, and I love meeting players.
And you all play baseball, right?
Yeah.
What team do you guys play for?
I play for Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah?
Evergreen Electric.
I forget, but I know I play at Pawcatuck Little League.
And what's your favorite baseball team and baseball player?
Red Sox and probably Rafael Devers.
Probably the same thing.
The Orioles and Gunnar Henderson.
Awesome, you guys. We are so glad to host you all for the first time here at McKeon, and we hope you guys have an awesome time. Who are you cheering for?
I am cheering for Hyannis.
Who are you cheering for?
Hyannis.
Hyannis.
All right, go Hawks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Josie, Matthew, and Parker. Really cool to see all the kids having fun here at McKeon Park. And this is one of the more friendly Cape Cod League teams I think I've ever seen. They have always been willing to sign autographs, stay late after games, and just shows how much they truly love being here.
Yeah, and they are right on the edge of the dugout. They are hunting for autographs right now, and they're trying to find as many as they can. And a couple fellow Connecticuters right there taking part in the festivities. Big Red Sox fans, though.
And the Orioles.
Yeah.
The Orioles had one Orioles there, and that's just like we talk about all the time is make your way to McKeon Park. We know you viewers, maybe from all across the country, but if you're near here, make your way over to McKeon Park. It's so much fun here. The players are very accessible. You get to they not say just meeting friends, but becoming friends with them. It's that kind of environment here at McKeon Park, and another great story you love to hear from the kids.
Yeah, and it's a fun time always with the atmosphere here, and if the atmosphere is good in the regular season, it's impeccable in the playoffs. We saw it last year. And McKeon Park gets rowdy with the best of them and has a home field advantage, and hope to see it here.
And for the Bourne Braves, new arm, number 25, Bradley Stewart, the southpaw from Eastern Kentucky, comes in for his second appearance of the summer. 2 innings pitched. Second game, both out of the bullpen. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. And he comes in here, middle to late part of this ball game here with the 5-2 lead.
And he will have the lefty-lefty matchup with Dalton Bargo to start things off. And it's now 1-1 to Bargo. Bargo, one of few left-handed hitters that has reverse splits. He crushes lefties. At least he did in his spring season. Over a 1.1 OPS against left-handed pitchers with Tennessee. He is up in the count, 2-1. Bradley Stewart working from the windup. 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss over the top, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. When you have it at that high of a velo, it starts cutting in on you and have to make the decision to swing early.
A swing and a miss at the pitch in the dirt. The ball gets away. Throw down to first, hits Bargo on the back, and he will reach via the strikeout.
And that is perfect base running by Dalton Bargo. He is running down the first base line, and he is blocking the view from Meggers in to first base to Lewis. And the other great part about it, he is running on the inside part of the chalk, which means he's in foul territory. So when he gets hit with the ball, it's not an out like it typically would be on the other side.
Yeah, good base running there and staying within his range, not going out of the baseline. You see a lot of umpires will call somebody out or for interference or obstruction. And doing a great job staying in line, but a little to the right, just enough for him to have a straight V line over to first base. But you're taught to run straight to the glove of where it's throwing. Great job there from Bargo to find a way on any way you can.
0-1 fouled off by Carson Bowles. Now, the pitcher, Bradley Stewart, was a 17th round draft pick out of high school by the Detroit Tigers, out of Eastern Kentucky, but will be transferring to the University of Georgia for next season. It's not easy to find a left-handed arm in college that throws 95, 96. One and two. Did Bowles go? No, he did not.
Back foot slider there. Bowles not offering to it. And for Bradley Stewart, mostly a fastball slider mix. And you saw Bargo make the hand motion earlier. It's more of a two-seam, has a lot of arm side run from the lefty Stewart.
There goes Bargo for second. Pitch in the dirt, and Bargo will be able to reach standing up. It's a stolen base for Dalton. And it's 3-2, a full count to Carson Bowles.
Was able to get a great jump on it and had a good time there. And now Bowles, a big 3-2.
And he took the chance there. You have Bradley Stewart, high leg lift. He's going on first movement, so if he picks him off there, he's dead in the water, but gets a good jump there, gets his 4th stolen base of the summer.
Pitch in on the feet of Carson Bowles. That one hurts as he is kind of hopping around right now. They'll check on him, but seems to be all right. So it'll be first and second now for the Hawks with nobody out still for Mason White.
Mason White has a really solid swing, and we talk about his success finding it against lefties. Has a lefty here, and Mason White can find himself in a big spot here, and he's a tying run at the plate.
First pitch to him, outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, for Mason White, he's had a success on against lefties, and it's been that slider that comes around. It falls right into his bat pattern, goes pull side to it, right center field, and that's where he's found his success. That slider low in the zone, right into his big swing on the left side.
And the 0-1 pitch narrowly catches the outside corner. 0-2 now.
Back-to-back replica pitches. You always hear coaches put it right there again. And that's exactly what he did, putting it right behind it with another fastball.
And a breaking pitch that just misses the top of the zone. Meggers reaching across as Stewart missed his spot.
Yeah, they tried to go low and away, slider there after putting 2 fastballs on the corner. It would have been a great job if you could have put that slider right in behind it.
1-2 misses up and in, a very similar pitch.
And it's not missing by much, but it's just Chase Meggers behind home plate, set up away, has the glove low and away, and then having to reach up and in. So it looks further than it is, and that one could be a called strike, but just not hitting a spot.
2-2 to White. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. That time, Stewart does make his pitch that he's looking for, and it's the first out of the inning.
And that's where he was trying to put that slider to the first 2 times. He did a great job of setting it up, had the fastballs away, and then try to work the slider right off it. Start with those fastballs started, and then throw it off away. Now it's going to be up to J.P. Acosta, who has a single and an RBI already to his name.
J.P. Acosta could use a big hit here, still chipping away at a 3-run deficit. Oh, 0-1 pitch coming from Stewart. Pitch in the dirt, almost got Acosta, but a beautiful snare by Chase Meggers to keep that in front of him.
Great pick there from Meggers. I mean, that one could have easily kicked by. That's a tough pick. Right at the feet of J.P. Acosta. Acosta got his 2nd hit of the summer and his first RBI. He was part of that late 9th inning comeback attempt in Chatham. Got his first hit then.
1-1 pitch to J.P. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 96 blown by him.
For Hyannis, you want to take advantage of the opportunity. You get the first 2 runners here in the home half of the 6th aboard. You can scratch one across. That would be huge.
And a breaking pitch that completely fools Acosta that time. A half-hearted swing and miss for the second out. And now Bradley Stewart an out away from getting out of the first and second nobody out jam.
Yeah, has 3 strikeouts right now, and he's doing a really good job in this half inning with placement and fooling the Harbor Hawks, but it's Jackson West.
West in that leadoff spot today. Looks at the first fastball away.
And for West, plays really good baseball for Hyannis, but has been playing even better over the last 5 games, batting .409.
One and 0 to him. Another pitch outside. Harbor Hawks have had base runners on most innings in this game. They've got 5 hits. They've also worked a walk and a few hit by pitches now, 3 on the day. 2-0 to West is outside, and it's now 3-0.
Stewart just missing a little glove side with that fastball. He's trying to peck at that outside corner. He's done a great job thus far. These ones just missing on the outer half to Jackson West.
The 3-0 pitch to West is a breaking ball outside part of the plate that narrowly misses. It's a 4-pitch walk for West, and it'll load the bases for the speedster Josh Tate.
Not only the speedster Josh Tate, but a guy who's been seeing the ball well, had already a couple good swings today, 2 base hits. He comes up, lefty-righty matchup, got bases loaded here, 2 outs.
And for Hyannis, it's the biggest knock they've had on the door tonight.
Pitch up to Tate.
For Hyannis, they gotta try and answer. And it'll be enough to have a meeting on the mound.
And for this meeting, the first coaches meeting on the mound for Bourne today, it has been pretty much smooth sailing all around, and they will bring in the entire infield.
And it's been smooth sailing. That's thanks to the start they got from the Wake Forest Demon Deacon Joe Ariola. The southpaw had 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them was earned. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Did a great job keeping these Harbor Hawks off balance, and Bradley Stewart in his first inning of work finds himself in a little bit of trouble here with 2 outs.
So there was 1 pitch thrown to Josh Tate. It was a ball, and he will be in a hitter's count now with the bases juiced. He is the go-ahead run at the plate. You've got Jackson West at first, Carson Bowles at second, Dalton Bargo at third. 1-0 to Tate is right in there for a strike. From our angle, it's a bit hard to see when it's called a strike and when not, just because the umpire puts his hands out in front of him, his back blocking us.
He's setting his own screen.
1-1 inside.
Yeah, typically you see a home plate umpire go to his right, give a little strike call. Him straight ahead, and it's a short arm action. You know, see some guys have a long action, very short arm action for home plate umpire Joe LaBella. Very quick and short. Sometimes you can't see it back here. Tunnels it well, hides it well. Joe LaBella behind home plate.
2-1 breaking ball catches the outside corner. And the Harbor Hawks faithful not too pleased with that strike call on the 2-1 pitch. Now 2-2. In the dirt, good take by Tate. Nowhere to put him. Down by 3 runs. Stewart has His stuff has looked sharp. He has just spiked a couple pitches in the dirt right by the feet of right-handed hitters. Needs to make his pitch here. 3-2, 2 outs, runners will go. Outside, ball 4, and it is a 2-run ball game. An RBI walk for Josh Tate, and McKeon Park starting to come alive.
Great take by Josh Tate, battling that entire AB. Saw 6 pitches, and every pitch he worked, put himself in a solid position, and now it's Kane Kepley.
First pitch to Kepley, misses low. And you know Kepley's not going to be one to let Stewart get away with pitches outside of the plate.
And he's still looking for the tying walk in franchise wooden bat record here for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
He's just been sitting on that 37 number. I should say 36.
Looking for the 37.
1-0 goes to the backstop. It comes all the way back, and Carson Bowles will be thrown out at the plate. An unfortunate third out, as Bowles and Meggers have some words for each other. And we will send it to break. Harbor Hawks make the final out at the dish. 5-3, Braves lead.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
The Hyannis Harbor Hawks are looking for host families for the 2025 season. We ask you kindly to consider making that lifelong decision if you know someone who does, and ask them to host a Hawk here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, as Jeffrey Merzel and Craig Andodoza having a conversation with Mitch Carricker, and now Jeffrey Merzel, the crew chief, is going to ask Scott Landers to come out of the dugout to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, and some chippiness after, Bowles slid in to home hard on the wild pitch, and I guess Meggers took some exception to it. There's a little bit of a bump from Meggers, and some words were exchanged, but nothing serious. You imagine the umpires just trying to put an end to it now, as we've got a new pitcher coming in for Hyannis. It's Jackson Emis out of Clinton, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts native. And so far, this is going to be his first outing as a Harbor Hawk this summer. And he comes in a big matchup, not only a 2-run ball game, going to be so important for the Harbor Hawks to put up a bunch of zeros. Game getting a little chippy. It's going to bring a little bit of excitement from both teams. You're going to expect this game to have a lot of life. This game already had a lot of meaning to it, just added a little bit extra this past spring for Emis, 8.66 ERA. Came out of the bullpen for the majority of the time, 15 appearances, only 1 start, 1.64 whip, and kept the opponent's batting average to .239.
And for Emis, on top of it, has experience playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Last year was with Katuitt, and then in 2022 was a very large piece to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks pitching staff that he's able to rejoin here in 2024.
As he deals the first pitch to Chris Stanfield for a strike. Now, Emis has strikeout stuff. His K through 9 almost at 16 strikeouts per 9 innings. An elite number. As he throws another pitch to Stanfield off the plate.
And Emis comes across his body, has a four-seam, a cutter, and has a really nice changeup that he's already thrown a couple times in warm-ups. And when you watch him in the spring, changeup plays really well.
A hard line drive deep to left field. Bowles ranging back, and he will watch it one hop the wall. Stanfield will stop at second now, and he's already got a double and a triple today. It's a leadoff double this time for him for the top of the order, Ethan Conrad.
Chris Stanfield continues to produce. Soon to be LSU Tiger unleashes on one that goes up against the wall for the second time today. Off his triple, it went off the wall in dead center. This time going to left field to have it go off the wall. And now Stanfield stands in scoring position.
Ethan Conrad, maybe the front runner for MVP of the Cape Cod Baseball League. He is at the plate now as he takes a massive cut and misses on the first pitch.
I think coming into the last regular season games, it's between Ethan Conrad and Jared Advincula. Or Ethan Petrie. He does have an interesting conversation to be had there.
And Tanner Thatch up there as well. He's got the power that the other guys don't necessarily have.
He does bring something to the table that.
Well, you could argue Petrie, home run contest champion.
Yeah.
8 home runs, tied
Best
for second.
record in the league as well. I know they might favor that a little bit. Who knows? It's way more wide open than it was last season for sure.
Yeah, you knew. I think last year when we were here, it was Bazzana and Smith.
And Bender.
And Derek Bender. Those were the three.
And there is no argument for anyone else.
No, it was the three of them. And when you got to the final game, you had very good understanding that it was most likely going to be Travis Bazzana since he just separated himself from the batting average standpoint that the others didn't. But this year, everyone's right there making a case every night.
As it is a slow roller, Ethan Conrad to Emis. Emis makes the play on the PFP. It's been quite a few pitcher outs here in these last couple innings for Hyannis. And the first out of the inning is a 1-3.
Athletes going to work today, showing off their athleticism. And it's a big get by Emis. It's a slow roller in the grass. Has to crash on it quickly, and does a good job getting over there.
So the infield will come in for Merrick Houston with Chris Stanfield on third base. First pitch to Houston misses outside.
And Mason White shifted over more towards pull side, leaves that up the middle gap. Huge. And for Jacob Irons, I'll use a capital H in huge, as that gap is JP Acosta playing normal depth at second base. But it's Mason White pulled heavy towards right next to the third baseman.
Line drive the other way, ranging over is Tate, and he drops the ball. Merrick Houston will go on to second base. The throw there is offline. Stanfield will score. And Merrick Houston reaches second on the line drive, waiting to see what that ruling will be.
Put the ball in play and elevate it with a runner on third. Here you have a potential to bring in Stanfield, and getting the ball in play works for Houston there. And it's just a tough play for Tate to come in and make. It was down by his ankle.
You think maybe at that level a line drive may have gotten just caught in the lights a little bit, and Tate just had a strange reaction.
Yeah, it's a tough play. Coming from the right-handed bat, that ball's fading into it. It's working really hard downward to his glove side.
Brayden Holcomb hits a big league fly ball into left field. Bowles will range under it. and make the grab at the chest. So there is the second out. And even if Tate makes that catch, the run will still score, as Chris Stanfield has a lot of speed over there at third base. But now you have the runner on second base. You don't get the out. And it gives Chase Meggers the chance to drive in another run. Emis dealing. Pitch away. Meggers out of the alma mater of the manager for Hyannis, Mitch Carricker, out of Oregon. Him and Bennett Thompson shared catching duties this past season. Bennett Thompson, former Harbor Hawk. Pitch up and away, 2-0.
And that run scoring, and if Tate's able to make that play, you would have to look back quietly. Ethan Conrad finding a way with 2 strikes to move the runner over, doing a job pulling it to the right side, allowing the runner to move from second to third. Down 2 strikes, just getting handsy and able to get a piece of it, hooking the ball. Once again, to the right side of the field, allowing that runner to get 90 feet away.
And we will have a pitch clock violation before the pitch, as it was swung and missed by Meggers, but the pitch did not count. It'll be 3-0.
Almost a scary moment there. Big swing from Chase Meggers, and it was home plate umpire Joe Labella calling time, walking behind him, and Meggers took a big hack there on 2-0.
So now it'll be a 3-0. Base open, first base. Runner on second base, and Meggers does have the green light, swinging away, fouls it off.
And for Emis here, just trying to get out of this half inning and get Hyannis back into the dugout.
Emis deals the 3-1, swing and a miss. The count is full.
Good use of the cutter right there from Jackson Emis. That one having good late dive to it, going right into the hands of the left-hander, Chase Meggers.
3-2 pitch coming. Fouled straight back. And we'll do it again on the full count.
Emis doing a really good job battling back after being down in the count 3-0 with a pitch clock violation.
Three, 2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Jackson Emis gets a loud cheer as he sends Chase Meggers back to the dugout, but Bourne does get another run as they lead 6-3 going into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Cape Cod, we're Bork Heating and Cooling. We've serviced over 5,300 customers on and around Cape Cod for almost 40 years. We install and service your heating and cooling system, and our #1 goal is to ensure we do the best job we possibly can to make our customers happy.
You have the triple cheerleading squad for Bork sitting here. They repaired our heating system, took care of our air conditioning system, and they set something up with the remote system that they installed for us as well. Yay, yay, yay for Bork. We love them.
Give us a call when you're in need of HVAC services. Hope you enjoy the game.
around the league scoreboard here. As we do have a final, it's YD taking down Chatham 8-5, but the scores that we really care about. Katuitt leading Wareham 9-6. That score was 8-0 earlier in this game, so still plenty of time in that one. The Gatemen swinging the bats well, looking to mount a comeback. And then Falmouth beating Brewster. That one has zero indications for Falmouth as they're already eliminated, but Brewster is fighting to stay alive. That game not going to help them as Harwich and Orleans, one of them guaranteed, I guess not guaranteed to win, but even a tie would help them over the loss.
Yeah, and for Orleans, they stand in the third place position right now in the East. And with that win, it would have Harwich jump Orleans, moving to third.
Pitch up to Kepley, 1-0.
Yeah, fastball didn't miss by much there from the left-hander Bradley Stewart.
And a strike called 1-1.
For Hyannis, they want to try and respond back after the run was able to come across.
And that pitch comes in and clips Kane Kepley. So still some wildness from Bourne here in this game. It's Kepley getting on first base, and that's exactly how they wanted to start this inning.
And if you are Hyannis, you need to respond to the one run Bourne put up and making it a bloop and a blast away. 3 runs is very difficult, especially with how good the pitching staff the Bourne Braves have at their possession.
So Michael DiTallo up now with a runner on first base. Has a 1-0 count. Kepley bluffs like he's going to first, and a wild pitch. Not a wild pitch, but a pitch that missed by quite a bit from Bradley Stewart.
And Bourne Braves do have a 3-run lead, but not a guy you want to let get a free pass in Kane Kepley, who showed a lot of speed and leads the team with stolen bases with 17.
And Stewart still not really settling down. It's a 3-0 count, likely a red light for Michael DiTallo. Kepley off of first base. There he goes. 3-0 pitch in the dirt, and it won't matter as Michael DiTallo, a 4-pitch walk, and Scott Landers is going to make the walk out to the pitcher's mound in what will likely be a pitching change.
Looks like an arm is ready, and it will be a new arm for the Bourne Braves. Making the jog in is John Abraham, the Florida State Seminole, coming on to the mound with runners on first and second. When we come back here in the bottom of the 7th, you're watching Harbor Hawks baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
It'll be a new arm for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, or excuse me, for the Bourne Braves. John Abraham out of Florida State.
Yeah, number 16, John Abraham. Harbor Hawks have seen him before. The right-hander from Florida State. This will be his 6th appearance, 8th inning of work. And this is a guy who's been incredibly efficient for the Bourne Braves. 13 strikeouts, no walks recorded this summer. 1.13 ERA, and they're going to go to one of their better and more consistent arms here in a big moment, up 6-3.
Yeah, and the last time Hyannis saw Bourne was at Dorn Park, and Abraham pitched in that game. He went for 1 inning, got the save for them, didn't give up a hit, struck out 1, didn't walk anybody. Like you touched upon, Nico. He has been out in front, but he's going to have to take on Blake Cavill, who comes in to pinch hit.
A little surprising of a move. Cavill has been hot recently, but Donovan Cash, I guess, fine at-bats so far, but not going to get the opportunity to face the right-hander, John Abraham. And Abraham, you look at his splits, he is definitely better against right-handers, but fairly similar overall. And Carricker's going to give his left-handers a chance to go after Abraham here with no outs, runners on first and second. Now you would expect that a bunt would not be on here, down by 3 runs and the pinch hitter up. Otherwise, they'd keep Cash in the game. First pitch to Cavill is up, ball 1.
Yeah, huge pinch hit bunt situation. But yeah, with the pinch hitter, usually don't pinch hit for a bunt, especially with a guy like Blake Cavill who's been swinging it well.
1-0 pitch coming, misses well inside.
And Blake Cavill's shown some power, had a home run in his first at-bat as a Harbor Hawk. His stands as the tying run.
2-0 pitch from Abraham. Fastball does catch the zone this time.
And saw in the forecast a little bit of fog making its way to McKeon Park.
And starting to roll in here with the temperature dropping, with a cold front moving on to Cape Cod, along with some heavy rain over the next week.
There go both runners. Kepley to third, and he is in sliding. Hard slide into third base, and now the runners will be on second and third for Cavill. 3 balls and 1 strike.
For Cavill here, changes the approach, elevates the ball, and you can get with the speedy Kepley.
But he really doesn't even have to, as the infield is playing back. They will allow the run to score. 3-1, misses high, and the bases are juiced now for Dalton Bargo. For Jonathan Abraham, he pitched in the College World Series against the Volunteers. He did not face Dalton Bargo, but he has some history with the Tennessee Volunteers.
And when Bourne faced off against Hyannis, Dalton Barger wasn't even in the lineup. And now these two squaring off on Cape Cod.
First pitch to Bargo, a big swing over the top of the curveball.
And with bases loaded, Bargo's had 7 at-bats, hitting .429 with the bases loaded this summer.
3 for 7, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. No balls, 1 strike. Coming set is Abraham. He'll deal to Bargo. High fly ball, it will be in the infield. Infield fly rule has not been called, and it actually was called by the first base umpire. It's a basket catch by Braden Holcomb as the ball kind of got caught up in the fog, and there's 1 out.
And You touched upon it right there, Josh. Hyannis needs to try and respond here. The fog is coming in at a rapid rate. You're starting to lose visibility to the cell phone tower that is out beyond left center field.
And it seems to be clear in left field, or seems to be blurry in left field, a little bit of fog in right field. Dead center, looking pretty good so far, but yeah, it's both left and right. It's getting a little foggy out there.
First pitch to Carson Bowles, up and away. Carson Bowles has had some really nice at-bats so far today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. The bases are loaded. First baseman playing in on the grass. Everyone else normal depth. 1-0 to Bowles. Gets through the legs of Meggers. Here comes Kepley, and this time it won't be a contest. Kepley comes in standing, and it is 1 run for Hyannis. They're now down 2 with the tying run in scoring position.
And you have 2 outs to work with here as well. Carson Bowles once again in a 2-0. Abraham hasn't been able to find the zone confidently.
You've got first base open if they choose to put Bowles on or pitch around him. 2-0 pitch to him, misses inside, now 3-0. The left-handed power hitter Mason White is on deck. Michael DiTallo on third base, Blake Cavill on second. Not blazing speed on the base paths. 3-0 to Bowles, catches the zone, 3-1.
Had the stoplight on the entire way, wanted to see a strike. It was a get-me-over strike there from Abraham. And
3-1 pitch coming. Will likely be a fastball. It is not. It's a breaking ball that catches the outer part of the zone.
Yeah, with the base open, you don't have to feed him one there. You can go to your second or third pitch, or whichever one you may trust, and he trusts the slider there. That one leaved up in the zone. Carson Bowles with 3 RBIs on the summer.
3-2-1 out. Abraham dealing. Curveball fouled back. Nice fight by Bowles.
That's a really good protection swing. Understanding that it's close enough on the pitch placement there for you to want to go and protect yourself.
Fog still rolling in.
Yeah, you look down right field. It's looking, wow, it has gotten thick down the right field line.
Full count again to Bowles. High fly ball. Up over the light. Stanfield, does he see it? Yes, he does. Tagging is DiTallo. Throw gets cut off. DiTallo scores, and it is a 1-run game thanks to the Carson Bowles sac fly.
And now with Stanfield putting his hands out, it's getting to a very considerable point where this fog could play a very big factor going into the next half inning for Hyannis. And the tying run standing at second, you got to try and take advantage.
Now, I also think Stanfield was trying to bluff a little bit. Maybe try to have DiTallo or Cavill get off the bag so they couldn't tag, but because he seemed to know exactly where it was when it came down. As Mason White takes that pitch, that looked like it was right down the middle for a ball. It's been a small strike zone all day long for both teams. Wind blowing out to right center field. 1-0 to White. Chopper down the first base line into the Bourne bullpen.
For Hyannis here. 2 outs, Mason White trying to extend and make a quality AB. He's been putting them together really well.
1 ball, 1 strike. Cavill off second base. The right-hander looks and deals. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. And Abraham now a strike away from getting out of this with the lead. No guarantee that this game goes on long enough for Hyannis to get another at-bat with the fog rolling in, so a big moment now for White. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, and Abraham will step off. There's his first disengagement of the at-bat with the pitch clock ticking down. And it'll be a 1-2. Mason White, line drive into right field. It's a base hit. Cavill rounding third. He's coming in. Conrad's throw is way long. The game is tied. Mason White is safe, diving back into first base. Hyannis has come all the way back, tied up at 6.
Mason White put together one of the best ABs of the summer that he has ever been able to put together. He's down in the count, and it's able to get over and beyond Lewis, the first baseman, and then it's Conrad getting to it so quickly and tossing all of his might behind it. It's a high throw, and Blake Cavill goes in full face first in.
And how about Blake Cavill doing his best Steve Irwin impression, as if he were going to tackle an alligator? He slides into home for the game-tying run. And it's a swing and a miss from Acosta. Now a 6-6 ball game.
Like we talked about, with the fog coming into play, that run is so huge.
As the ball now gets away from Meggers, and moving to second is Mason White.
And now for the Harbor Hawks, the whole time you're thinking, okay, let's get a tie. Let's find a way to get a tie here, tie this ball game up. Now you're a swing away from taking the lead. And now you have Mason White staying in scoring position. JP Acosta already having a single and an RBI to his name.
Acosta, the switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty. Mason White leads off second base. The 1-1 is a breaking ball that misses high.
And there's nobody in the Bourne Braves bullpen right now. This is Abraham's inning to work.
We say there's nobody. There's almost quite literally nobody. There's a few people sitting on the bench, but big opportunity for Acosta. 2-1, the fog is heavy right now. A check swing, and he went around clearly, 2-2.
Yeah, the fog out there, you're starting to even lose visibility of the trees, and you can even see it from your view from the camera. The fog is really blocking out there in the outfield. Left field looks clean, but Stanfield and Conrad over in center and right, the trees are right behind them, losing visibility quickly.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. John Abraham gets out of the inning, but get a look at the Steve Irwin gator slide from Blake Cavill to tie things up. 6-6 going into the top of the 8th. We've got a good one here, folks. Don't go away here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Top of the 8th inning, it's Hyannis that scores 3 runs in the bottom of the inning to tie things up thanks to the Mason White RBI single. And you'll just have to bear with us for the rest of this game as the fog has kind of caused some of our cameras to not look so great, so we're going to do our best to give you the best looks we can the whole rest of this game. Emis deals to Garrett Michelle for strike one.
And the worry you have as you look at around McKeon Park, that fog is, I mean, it's going to take one fly ball to see if the outfielders can really get any kind of read out there in the outfield. So it's going to be a test to see when that first ball is in the air. It's going to be a big question mark, and we'll see how it's answered.
And right now, talked about this fog.
1-1, big hack from Garrett Michelle, trying to get rid of this tie. It's 1-2 to him.
And maybe luckily for the Harbor Hawks, Jackson Emis, known as a strikeout pitcher, may not get too much loud contact from him.
1-2 fouled straight back. Michelle, a guy that also does not get cheated on his swings. Emis did pitch against Virginia Tech this past season, but did not face Michelle. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2.
Good changeup there from Emis. That one just starting a little too far out. Not believable enough to get the swing from Garrett Michelle.
2-2 pitch from Emis. Line drive right back up the middle and dropped by Mason White. It was off of his glove. He made a good leaping stab at it, but just couldn't secure it. It would have been a very difficult play, likely still a base hit.
And that's scary. 105 off the bat, and that one just hitting his glove, and had a lot of late dive to it from the left-handed bat. It's going to have that downward tail to it late. Coming from the outside, and don't know if it had anything to do with the fog. It's 105 mile per hour off the bat.
So go ahead, run on the plate on first base now as Tristan Becerra comes to the plate. Emis dealing to Becerra, misses outside. No, it was called a strike. There's another example of getting screened. When it gets louder here at McKeon Park, it's going to be harder to read that. No balls, one strike. Michelle on first base. Nobody out here for the Clemson Tiger. He looks at that pitch up and away, 1-1.
Chase, you gotta zoom out. The pitcher is right in the scoreboard. Or move left. Move left. Yeah, move left.
1-1 pitch just misses.
If we have it and it's fine, just take it, just that we can bear.
So 2-1 coming to Becerra. Emis got to be careful. Becerra capable of making this a two-run game with one swing. Slider misses inside. The cutter, rather.
Is have him crash in on the pitcher, and then at the last second cut off that he can get back to gameplay.
Emis taking a moment now behind the mound. Pitch clock ticking down. Down to 5 seconds. Emis gets it off at 3. A big swing and a miss from Becerra, 3-2.
And a huge strike there from Jackson Emis. If you allow the free pass here, runners on first and second, nobody out, and fog's not getting any better. The lifespan of this game may be coming to an end. Every single pitch is going to matter.
Check on to first base. Emis trying to fight his way through this inning. There is some action in the Hyannis bullpen. As this one popped up in foul territory. Going to be a long run for Bargo, and it will get out of play. Off the netting down the left field line.
First fly ball. Again, that one in foul territory. And left field seems to be looking a little better, but seemed like Dalton Bargo, the third baseman, tracked it the whole way. Got a good jump on it. That one ranging foul. And so at least in foul territory, left field has checked the box of being okay. We'll see if we check another box here anytime in this ball game.
3-2 again, but first a pickoff attempt to Cavill playing first base, who he stayed in the game for Donovan Cash.
Jackson Emis just checking with Cavill. He made the point to his eyes and just making sure that he could see okay over at first base.
Yeah, go to like one of the base cameras.
Let's do the full count again. Pitch to Becerra, popped up, foul territory and out of play. Becerra still taking some massive hacks.
Yeah, and doing a great job of staying alive in this at-bat. Again, finding a way on with runs on first and second would be so pivotal for the Bourne Braves.
(3-2) again. There goes Michelle. And the pitch is inside. It will be a walk for Tristan Becerra. Runners on first and second now, still with nobody away. So Mitch Carricker will make the journey to the mound. See if he does make the signal, and he does. So we'll have a new pitcher coming in for the Harbor Hawks when we come back. Stay tuned as the runners first and second here for the Braves.
This will be your college. This will be your home. This is where you will join a community that supports you, cares about you, pushes you, cheers you on, challenges you, inspires you, helps you reach your dreams. Open your eyes to opportunity and your mind to possibility. Your future begins here.
Make a difference. Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Cade Brown, the new arm in for Hyannis. Brown been here since day one for the Harbor Hawks. He will be getting yet another appearance.
Yeah, he comes in for his 9th appearance, all coming out of the bullpen. 14 innings for the Harbor Hawks, and another guy who's been incredibly efficient for the Hawks. 19 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Loves to pound the zone. Has a fastball, splitter, and a slider. That splitter has such great downward action, and it's been that Cade Brown, when Cade Brown's keeping those 3 pitches low in the zone, that's when he's at his best. When he's getting that slider and splitter stay low and have the best break and bite, he's found himself a lot of success. It's only been if that splitter hangs up in the zone a little too much where he's been hit.
So it's David Lewis at the plate now for the Braves. Still nobody out. A tough situation for Cade Brown coming in. Lewis squares to bunt, almost hits him, but he still gets it down, but foul.
And this is a small ball. Scott Landers loves to play. He knows his roster is constructed with speed. He has 80 stolen bases, first in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 1 through 9 can always be set in motion for the most part, so it allows for huge opportunities.
You see that splitter grip from Cade Brown that he starts out with. Blake Cavell creeping in, no bunt this time. And it's a strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-2.
After the splitter right on the inside, froze. David Lewis at the plate, didn't show bunt there, and he's going to have to swing away here now with 2 strikes.
Michelle on second, Becerra on first. 0-2 is chopped the other way. Going to be a tough play. Cavell underhand flip to Cade Brown, who's covering. And that is the first out of the inning. So Hyannis maybe a decision now. With Kogel coming up, first base is open. Do you walk him here?
Now with Chris Stanfield on the on-deck circle. We already talked about the success he's had all summer long, as well as against the Harbor Hawks specifically. I mean, already today a triple and a double. A single home run away from the cycle.
That's likely what this discussion is about. Harbor Hawks infielders look like they will be playing in. Garrett Michelle does not run incredibly well, so there should be a play at the plate.
And Stanfield is second on the team with stolen base with 14, so he has a lot of speed. So if you're looking for a double play opportunity, Chris Stanfield may not be the guy you're looking for at the plate.
So Kogel, the 8-hitter here, out of Vanderbilt. A freshman this past season. First pitch to him, catches the zone for strike 1.
And for Brown, you have to pepper the zone. You have to really work in on the zone and understand that it is there.
0-1 to Kogel. Swing and a miss. Another splitter. 0-2.
And that's when it's been at its best. 2 good splitters right there. That one used as a chase pitch, and it opens up so many opportunities for him. Haven't shown slider, haven't shown fastball, but it was Kogel not seeing that splitter very well. Opens up the arsenal to all 3 pitches. Maybe try to stay out of the zone, get him to chase.
0-2 fouled straight back. Kogel stays alive.
Tripled back to the splitter there on the outside corner. Again, 0-2, getting a couple wilder swings from Kogel, not seeing the splitter all too well. Wouldn't be too upset to trust Jackson West here and try to get him to chase one here.
0-2 foul, tips it. Just barely on the splitter. Got a piece of Jackson West's bare hand. So Labella will walk the ball out to Brown.
Good idea from Cade Brown. Splitter down the zone. Try to get him to chase, just getting a piece of it. And that one catching a piece of Jackson West's hands. Looks like he's going to be all right. Shook it off there a little bit.
Very difficult right now to even see the outfielders. Ball in the air could be incredibly difficult.
And that's the worry right now, is it only takes one moment.
0-2 to Kogel, another ball that he just barely tips. That one back to the netting.
And that's been the thing and here in Cape Cod Baseball League, not totally different to see fog in the air. And unfortunately, it's been what gets called is when the ball goes up in the air.
And I think this is going to be the conversation that Jeffrey Merzel is going to have. He's standing right behind home plate, and if he can't stand in to look from second to home.
And if they do say that it is too much fog right now, Scott Landers in the Bourne bench is going to lose its mind.
And the point I was just making, it's funny that the umpire over at first base, Jeffrey Merzel, it's usually the ball goes up in the air, and it's when the outfielder can't see it, then they join together. That's what we've seen so far, and they're going to bring both managers together and maybe beat the question of if the outfielders can see it and make their own assumption.
And I think this is a proactive call, which I like, because all it takes is for one ball to drop into no man's land, and then all of a sudden, one side or the other now has a lead because of the fog. And I think that's the case Jeffrey Merzel, Joe LaBella, and Craig Andrazia are having with the managers. We don't want to have the fog play a factor in this game where it's detrimental to either party.
Absolutely, and I was thinking the same thing the last half inning. It was J.P. Acosta at the plate, Mason White second base, and in my head I was thinking, if there's a fly ball and they lose, that ball drops, for the Bourne Braves, I would be sick for them to understand that you just dropped that ball game, you let the Harbor Hawks come back, and you end up having a tie game, but you end up maybe losing the game because of a fog in the outfield, and
They're
seeing
calling
it
him
here.
Off the field. They're calling everyone off the field, and nobody wants to leave. So we're going to hear an explanation here maybe.
He's going to go right to the crowd mic, too. And we're going to get a wait to see if it clears. It's going to be a 15-minute delay. And we'll start the timer now at 8:42 here on the East Coast in Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 15 minutes with the stopwatch starting now, and they're going to wait to see. The beauty of Hyannis is we've seen fog roll in and roll out pretty quickly. It's the question now of whether this is a fog forecast that will roll in and roll out.
And these are two teams that obviously you're in the towards the end of this season. Both of these teams are in the fight for seeding reasons, for so many reasons. And obviously if you're Hyannis or Bourne, you do not want to tie. If this is earlier in the season, they likely don't think twice. This game would have been called probably an inning ago. But since it's such a big moment, they're going to do everything in their abilities to get this game in. So we will send it to break momentarily as the players will wait and try to stay loose here during this fog delay.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
And there you see it. The fog has really come through here at McKeon Park, and the game has been called. So we will end this one in a tie. Hyannis and Bourne knotted up at 6 apiece. And, guys, not the worst outcome for the way that this game started.
Yeah, and we talked about at the beginning, it felt a little quiet and dead here at McKeon Park. Bourne Braves got up ahead early, but it was that 7th inning from the Harbor Hawks 3 spot. Big-time hits by Mason White to be able to tie the ball game up. And for the Harbor Hawks, you kind of leave with the tie feeling a little bit better after going down early.
Yeah, you responded there, and you were able to get the runs across when you needed to. And once again, you have a tie. It is a point for you in the standings. That's huge for them tonight, and a really big position coming into tonight.
Now, this is not the only thing that contributes to this. Obviously, there's a lot of other games going on around the league. Hyannis still in that first place spot, but that will depend on what happens in the Cotuit-Wareham game that's going on right now. Cotuit led that one 8-0 at one point, and there you see it. Cotuit and Wareham knotted up at 9, top of the 8th inning, but Cotuit is threatening right now. There's a runner on third base and 2 outs. They're in the midst of a pitching change, and it looks like they did just get out of that inning. So tied up at 9 going in to the bottom of the 8th inning, and this is gearing up to be one of the best finishes we could ever ask for here in the Cape League.
Yeah, there is a lot to be excited for. While you think there's one weekend left to play, you're like, okay, I know where my team is. You have no idea. Either if you are a fan of the West or whether you're a fan of the East, you have no idea, unless you're YD, where your team will be and who you are playing on that Tuesday in August 6th. Everything is up for grabs right now, and every game means something to everybody. And for Hyannis and Bourne tonight, this game ending in a tie sends everything amuck. You looked at Hyannis needed to win to try and keep pace. Now if you tie, you get a point, you keep yourself ahead of Cotuit. That is the biggest thing. You want to be points ahead because you lose the tie break in the head-to-head to Cotuit.
Yeah, everybody else not named YD. YD clinched their division. Everybody else is scrambling to find their spot in the playoffs and where they will be seated. It's going to be a big one, and you have Falmouth and Cotuit in a doubleheader tomorrow, which everyone's eyes are going to be on in the Western Division. Whew, it's going to be an exciting last couple days.
And just to recap real quick, today's game, 5 runs for Bourne that they score. First inning, they score 2. Second inning, they score 3. Then Hyannis just slowly chips away back at the lead. They bring it to a 2-run game, but then Bourne scores a run to make it 6-3. Hyannis then rallies back in the 6th inning. They score 3 runs. Make that the 7th inning. They score 3 runs in the 7th to tie this game up at 6, and it was just huge because obviously they never got the bats back again. Mason White tied things up with an RBI single, and you never know. That could be the reason Hyannis ends up winning the West Division in the regular season. So big things happening here tonight. Big-time attention will be paid towards the Wareham versus Cotuit game. But thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, this game will not end in a final 9 innings. It does end in a final 6-6. Hyannis and Bourne ends in a tie. For Josh Schreiber, Nico Sharp, and Jacob Irons, we thank you so much for tuning in. We thank our producers, Daniel Bottolino, Charlie Adams, and Chase Avery, and of course our sideline reporters, Matt Coates and Josie Broyles. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
At the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.